and welcome to this special edition of North County Talks. I'm your host, Kelly Davis. On this edition, we are pleased to have Oceanside City Clerk Zack Beck here to talk about the historical and monumental change in the way Oceanside residents will elect their city council members. Welcome to the show, Zack.
Well, thank you, Kelly.
Okay, so we're just going to jump right in it.
Yeah.
What is this proposed change?
Okay. Yeah, well, first and foremost, just want to thank you for having me on the program today to speak about this important issue. What is happening in the city of Oceanside is currently the city council members are elected at large, which means that every resident votes for each of the council members. What the city council is proposing is moving from electing the city council members at large to by district, which means that they would then vote for residents for a city council member in 4 different regions of the city. So the city would then be broken up into 4 districts, and the council members would have to live in those districts, and the residents in those districts would then vote for those city council members.
And how did this come about?
Yeah.
I mean, who decided this?
Yeah. Well, what happened was on March 27th, I received a letter from Shankman & Hughes, which is a law firm in Malibu. And they are going through city by city throughout the state of California and actually encouraging cities via lawsuit to move from electing their city council members at large to electing them by district. So the city council had the opportunity to see this come forward, and they were given a certain amount of time to respond, and they just responded at the May 3rd city council meeting to move forward with moving from electing at large to electing by district.
So this was prompted from the city being threatened by a lawsuit?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were threatened by a lawsuit, and this particular law firm, Shankman & Hughes, have gone to other cities throughout the state of California, and what they're using is the California Voting Rights Act, the Elections Code, in it's 1425 through 1432 states that city councils that are elected at large versus by district can potentially disenfranchise certain voting segments of the cities. So they have fought these various cities who are electing their city council members at large to by district, and what they've found is that most cities have voluntarily moved forward with going to electing their city council members by district, and the cities that haven't done that voluntarily and have actually tried to fight the lawsuit have all been unsuccessful, and they've actually had to spend millions of dollars in that. So the city of Palmdale, Modesto, Anaheim, and Whittier all spent millions of dollars in lawsuits, and at the end of the day they still had to move to a district-based election.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Oceanside does not want to do that.
Correct. Yeah. So the city council has been directed by the city attorney to move forward with this and to go involuntarily move forward with going by district to save money, but also since that is the direction that other cities have gone, we should be following the same suit. So that's the direction the city council is going in.
So how soon will this take effect? I mean, when will this happen?
So it'll take effect. We have a specific timeline. In accordance with the election code, it's 110 from the California Voting Rights Act. We had within 30 days to respond to the letter that we received. So on May 3rd, the city council members decided to introduce an ordinance to move from electing by at large to by district. And then after that was initiated, the city council is then going to have until August 1st to adopt the ordinance, and it will go into effect in the November 2018 election cycle.
The November 2018 election.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so our next elections for the
next
council
election.
members.
Yeah.
And how are these districts decided or broken up? How does that go?
So the districts are going to be determined by a professional demographer. So we've consulted with Karen McDonald. She has worked with other cities, San Juan Capistrano, Chula Vista, and others who have gone through the same process. So she is going to come down and actually use census data and empirical evidence to help determine where these districts are drawn. But the citizens will actually have the opportunity to be a part of that process as well.
And so right now we have how will that affect the council numbers, membership, council members?
So the council members, thanks for that question. The council members we currently have, we have 4 council members and 1 mayor. One thing to bear in mind is with this change, the mayor will still remain elected at large. The council members will go from elected at large to by district. We will currently maintain the same makeup where we have 4 city council members and the mayor. However, at a future election, maybe in 2020 or 2022, the city council might even potentially look at extending and expanding to additional city council members to make the districts even smaller. But right now, with our timeline and the costs associated with that, that's not something the city council is going to do at this current time.
So just to reiterate, right now there are we're separating into it'll be 4 districts.
Yeah, 4 districts.
And it's a she.
Correct.
What's the woman's name?
Karen
again?
McDonald, yeah.
She's going to determine how those districts are separated.
Correct. So she will be the one leading it. And for the public to be aware of is that she's an independent demographer. She's coming in and using empirical evidence, census tract data to help determine where these communities of interest are that need to be represented by certain districts. And as a part of that, she's going to be hosting 5 separate community meetings in conjunction with my office and the rest of the city. And at those 5 meetings, the city council is going to potentially attend, but it's really for the public to attend and have the opportunity to come and voice their opinion as to whether they want specific districts drawn for certain neighborhoods. And those meetings are going to take place all throughout the city.
So a question then, so if you go to one of these meetings and you're saying, how your feelings of the, she's going to take that into account, but ultimately, is it going to be her decision on how she separates it? Who kind of decides? Yeah,
so thank you for that. That's a great question. So she's going to discern where the districts are going to need to be drawn in accordance with federal, state, and local election laws. So everything has to comport with that. However, the public will be able to voice their opinions, and when they do so, she will take that into consideration, and it could directly impact where the boundaries are drawn for these various districts. So after these districts are drawn, she's going to propose 3 different options to the city council, and then the city council will then vote on adopting which districts we implement for the 2018 election.
So the public will have the opportunity at these meetings to voice their opinion.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to sort of add to this?
Yeah, there's quite a couple more things. So specifically for those meetings, we're going to be hosting them during this month, the month of May, and they're going to happen on May 13th, which is a Saturday at 11 a.m., the first meeting at Balderrama Park, which is at the Recreational Center in Eastside. The second meeting is going to take place on Tuesday, May 16th, at 6 p.m. at the El Corazon Senior Center. The third meeting is going to take place Saturday, May 20th at the Melba Bishop Recreational Center out off North River Road. Then our fourth meeting is going to take place Tuesday, May 23rd at 6 p.m. at Lake Elementary School. And then our final meeting is going to take place Tuesday, May 30th at 6 p.m. at the library community rooms. And to me, it's really important that the members of the public have the opportunity to attend these meetings and participate in these meetings, because this is the one opportunity the citizens are going to have in this historical change to voice their opinion and their preference as to where these districts are drawn.
Well, thank you for that. And a question is, why? I know they got the lawsuit, so that speaks to the why they're doing this, but what is the lawsuit, but why the lawsuit? What are they trying to do with this? What's the method?
What's kind of behind this? So to give some additional context surrounding the lawsuit and the proposed lawsuit from Shankman and Hughes is that they believe that the current makeup of electing city council members at large is a racially polarized dynamic, so that you're potentially infringing and disenfranchising certain communities of interest throughout various cities. So that is generally the reasoning behind why the particular organization, Shankman and Hughes, has read the California Voting Rights Act and seen that the language says that you should have a district-based voting system as opposed to an at-large voting system to make sure you're having adequate representation on the city council members of all communities of interest. But that is generally the thrust of why Shankman and Hughes wrote that letter, and they haven't just done it to us. So for additional context as well, they've already gone to the cities of San Marcos, Vista, Carlsbad, and now the Tri-City Medical District, and Oceanside is part of that. So it's kind of a general wave that's coming across North County and working its way to southern San Diego as well. So it's a new procedure that it looks like all cities are going to have to comport with to make sure that they're falling in line with the California Voting Rights Act.
Well, I just want to thank you, Mr. Beck, for joining us and telling us about this very, very important change that is happening. So we're going to display the meeting places and all this. Where could they go to find out? Do they log on to the city website just in case they... Is it right?
Yeah, so a couple of things. So they can log onto the city's website, and specifically they go onto the City Clerk webpage, and that's where we're actually going to have a comprehensive breakdown of all the information we just discussed, the different city council meetings and public workshops and community meetings that are going to happen regarding this particular issue. In addition, we're going to have an interactive GIS map on our website where citizens can actually look at where they live and see where that might fall into a various district. So it'll be very interactive. And in addition to that, we have a city email address where they can email myself directly. It's called districtelections@ci.oceanside.ca.us, or they can contact us via phone 760-435-3000. So those are some various ways to communicate, and we're going to do our best to make sure that the public is well informed of this, because we want them engaged and participating and making sure their voice is heard, because this is going to affect the elections in Oceanside for in perpetuity moving forward from here.
Well, it was a pleasure having
pleasure.
you on the show today. It's a very important issue, so be sure to log on to that website. And we want to thank you for joining us on this very special edition of North County Talks. Be sure to watch again or share this edition of North County Talks by visiting KOCT.org and watch this video on demand. Thank you for watching KOCT, your North County channel.